And so, beloved masters, this full moon in the sign of Capricorn, approximately every 6.5 years, the planet Venus and planet Mars, divine feminine and divine masculine, come together in a conjunction. And this time, on this night, Venus is on the backside, and it is that Mars is moving and in the lead, you could say, with the sun sandwiched in between them, and all of them are within 2 degrees. Venus is at 12 degrees, the sun at 13, and Mars at 14. So, beloved masters, this energy is bringing an emphasis on unity, relationships, things coming together in ways that they haven't really come together in lifetimes. This year will call people to look at their relationships, to look at how they relate to others. And it is that as they do, each individual must not only look at the opposite, male to female and female to male, but it is they must also embrace the truth of who I am. For the outer world has said man and woman are separate. But the inner space says within you there is divine masculine and divine feminine. And this will play a very big part in this year. It is that everyone is going to really be looking at practicality. And so, beloved masters, it is a time of looking at things from a bigger, I would say, feelings. The planet calls them emotions, but the moon and Jupiter are conjunct in opposition to this trio, this power-packed trio of Venus, Sun, and Mars. Jupiter is about expansion. It's about high ideals. It's about truth. It is about positive outcomes. And with the moon conjunct, it is that brings everything to a bigger picture, because Jupiter is always about things being large, being expanded. So, dearly beloved masters, this is a time of moving into deeper places within yourself and You may say, oh, we've heard all of this before. Well, beloved masters, you're going to hear it again and again and again because this is where the planet is going. And since truth, honesty, transparency is the order, then it is, dearly beloved masters, we cannot tell you something that isn't true just to entertain you. We want you to really know where things are. And we want you to really know that the potential is powerfully positive. Actually, this full moon makes a T-square with Sedna, which is a planet of higher love. And it isn't one that you hear about, but it has a very powerful influence today, and it will continue to have a more powerful place in the affairs of the planet coming. And opposite Sedna is Makemake, which is a higher octave, a higher frequency of the planet Uranus. Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. Mercury, communication in the earth plane. Uranus, higher technology. And then Makemake takes it clear into the holy realms, a much higher frequency. And because these planets are showing themselves, presenting themselves energetically in this time, it is telling the story that even if there is a lot of chaos on the earth plane, what is occurring in the heavens and beaming down on the planet and wrapping the earth in the violet flame. Transformation. The violet flame is absolutely unconditional love. When you utilize the violet flame for yourself, it's a transmuting fire that will change things. It will assist and empower you in moving into a different level of consciousness, if you are willing. And the violet flame does not force change, but it does protect, support, sustain. If there is someone in your life or someone on the planet that you are concerned about, their actions and activities, you can visualize them wrapped in the violet flame. And as I say, it doesn't force them to do anything, but it protects. So it not only can surround them in love, but it also protects what they are doing in the moment from sending out a totally negative energy to the world. So surrounding the earth, surrounding yourself, and yes, all that you love and all that you don't. Surround them with violet flame because it is a love that has no judgment. It is a love that has no condition, but it is a purifying, transformational energy. And in this year of transcendency, coming up over, rising above what has been, this aspect is definitely going to bring a whole new way of listening within, a whole way of thinking for yourself. It is a time where the idea of being victimized is of necessity going to begin to fall apart, and more people on the planet are going to rise up, not to battle, not to battle, because battle is a little bit like getting on a treadmill. One war ignites the fires that causes another war, and then another war, and another war, until the planet is dancing with the flames of battle. And it isn't in these times about being consumed by destruction. It is about being cleansed and purified so that Mother Earth can go forward in a whole new way. Beautiful changes. More love. Make the effort to focus on love. Make the effort to keep your mind in such a place of connectedness within you that no matter what is going on out there, you remind yourself, stay in love. You remind yourself, hold the peace. You remind yourself, be patient. Be patient. Patience, in many ways, beloved masters, is its own reward. That saying has been around for thousands of years. But the truth is, as you practice patience, now there are those that would say, well, if I'm practicing, I haven't mastered it yet. Dearly beloved masters, if you are not willing to practice, then mastery isn't going to happen because you're being engaged, included, interactive in your own life is something the whole planet is being called to in these times. And dearly beloved masters, the patience to allow things to change, the patience to allow things to improve, the patience to feel faith. For faith is that rather powerful, though quiet, sense within yourself everything is all right. And the logical mind is wanting to turn the focus to looking outside and holding on to the old ways. Oh, look, isn't it terrible? And yet, as you connect within and you allow all of this high frequency energy that is pouring into the earth from the planets, from the heavens, from messengers that are coming from far away places, even outside of this universe. There are beings that are coming to assist Earth in making the changes. They're not coming to force, they're not coming to dominate, they're coming to support, to beam unconditional love, enlightenment onto the whole planet. Those that are very close to a breakthrough will feel it. Those that are coming along and really beginning to look for something, and they may not know what it is, but they feel that there's something they should know, something they should live, something they should change. Feel it in yourself. Begin to actually not think it yourself, because where these feelings within you are going to come from are not low vibrational places. So on the earth, when the belief that if you say feelings, it covers everything. But the truth of it is, emotions are reactive and feelings are connected within you. So these planets are supporting, they're raising you up to see more, to feel much more connected, and to use the tools that the divine gave you when the soul was created. Things were absolutely equal because everyone was given the same tools. And there was a sense of that equality that didn't look to the outside. We are one. We are here. We celebrate ourselves and each other. And today, so much is surface. What you can see, what you think you heard, what you can touch, what you can hear, and what you can taste. But without that high frequency connection to the inner world, you're not going to be able to use those outer senses nearly as much as you once did, because you are becoming higher and higher frequency daily. Well, I don't feel anything. It's subtle. It's quiet. It moves quietly. When spirit moves, it moves in such a way that if you are attuned, if you're listening within, be still and know that I am God. And in you, that awareness, that connection has always been there through all of the changes, through all of the separation. It's always been there. So, dearly beloved masters, it is so important to you to get in touch with, to remember, to have patience, to be willing to discipline yourself. Because humanity, in many ways, has become spiritually lazy. There is a knowing within you that in the love of yourself, in the love of others, there are things that would serve you to be in touch with every day. In the outer world, when you say you're practicing, they say, but that means you're not there. I said that. I'm saying it again, just to remind you that practice means I am every day doing rituals, saying prayers, taking time to just be still for a moment and collect my energy. And the practice has no final outcome. So, saying practice, as long as you're living on the earth, as long as you care about yourself, you'll be making the choice, your own personal way of celebrating life. There are many tools that can be used. There are many things that you can do, many ways to celebrate. But I assure you, beloved masters, that it is not to be a daily practice of going to your altar, into your sacred space, connecting within, and then saying one more time, God stop them out there in the world from doing what they're doing. Because, beloved masters, that's not how spirit moves. You were given free will, and free will is eternal, just as your soul. So, asking God, Goddess, to stop other people from doing what they're doing is inviting the deity to interfere in human life. Now, understanding. God does not interfere in human life. Goddess does not either. But you are constantly observed in love. You are surrounded and protected in love. you are held in a vibrational frequency that is beginning to move up and up until you are in a very different vibration. And so, beloved masters, asking the gods to assist in stopping someone else from doing what they're doing is, you might say, an invitation to find that that same energy might be telling you what you can and cannot do. So, how do I change this? Is echoed around the world. And this particular full moon is saying, find your inner balance, God, Goddess, all that is. Find your truth. Feel it within you. It's not a logic problem. You are not going to find transparency in the outer world because there are secrets that are rising up from hidden places where they have been buried for lifetimes. And all those secrets are beginning to come to the fore now. So, beloved masters, to hold your intention, and we're not talking about rigid focus, but we are talking about consistently being aware of your intent for your life, for your life. Because when you are worrying about other people, basically, energetically, in a way, you're starving yourself. You're keeping the good away from you. Focus on calling the good to fill you up, to surround you, to allow you to walk in beauty, in peace, in strength, in courage, in patience. And know that as you daily reaffirm that commitment to yourself, it's a little bit like putting yourself on an energy charger every day to reaffirm and feel it. Don't just say words. There's a lot of things that are said on the planet that are said by rote. And that gets in touch with the computer part of you. But it does not allow you to deeply connect with the whole of your sacred self. So, daily practice, every day, practice not to be perfect. We've discussed that before. Perfection is a pathway to the grave because when it's perfect, it's finished. It's done. There's nothing else. There's no growth. There's no life. There's no forward motion. It's perfect. And as I've said before, if God was perfect, we wouldn't be here. So it isn't about establishing perfection. It is about establishing a peace and a love that are deeply satisfactory, that are cellularly invigorating, that you feel you in yourself, that you feel you connected within peacefully, joyfully, quietly, positively. The discipline of keeping your mind on what you desire to live, what you desire to live. You can make a prayer for the world, but it isn't God, let them all live like I do. It isn't let them all do things the way I do. It isn't God, make them see that I'm right. Those prayers are not inclusive. They are limiting, and they're disillusioning, because no one in the whole of this is less, and no one in the whole of this is more. And this knowledge rising up now is quite a wound to the pride of a lot of humanity that have convinced themselves that they are absolutely superior to every other human being, and all the others should just bow down. And then there are those who have absolutely convinced themselves that they are not worth anything, that they wonder what they're ever even doing here. And both extremes are perpetuated by the illusion in the outer world. And so, beloved masters, it is time for each one to put your focus on the healing, the integration, the expansion, the acceleration of your life. And you cannot do it by thinking it yourself. You cannot do it by control, ordering yourself to do things. This is the way you've got to do it. I've been told this is how you've got to do it, or I think this is how you've got to do it, how you've got to be. And beloved masters, that control that is absolutely rampant in the outer world doesn't even exist as a quality in the inner places, in the sacred places, in the quiet of a forest, in the beauty of a mountain or a mountain lake or the depths of an ocean, the sky, the natural animal kingdom. Being in, in touch with those is comforting to your soul. And the mind, even though it likes the action of battle, says, this feels pretty good. Maybe we just should go away from the world and leave it. But that's not what you're here for either. You are here to remember that you were designed to be co-creators with the divine. not advising God how things should go, but being willing to co-create with the divine and taking the messages, the suggestions, the visions that you are receiving and not trying to decide what to do with them, but feeling how to allow them, because a divine creative master allows the energy to flow. It allows the energy to come to you. You don't have to go out there and find it. So these planetary aspects are literally showing you what you are required to move toward in these times, to move forward and don't look back. It doesn't mean that you can't remember. And many will find themselves taking strolls down memory lane, examining things from the past, from your childhood, from other lifetimes. And yet, beloved masters, to look at them not from the same perspective you did when you were a child, but to make a conscious effort in love to bring all of that together in love so that it can be transmuted, transformed, transcended, and you will feel so different within yourself. It's like refining gold. You put it in the fire and it is purified. You put your energy into the sacred fire of the divine, white light, violet flame. Neither one are fires that burn, but they are fires that transmute, that purify, that recreate, taking old negative energy and transmuting it into something pure so that you can use it again without what had been in that, you might say, file in your computer. It's now been cleared and that file is new and usable for you in your forward motion, in your sacred evolution. Pluto continues to be trine to the planet Uranus, and it is that Uranus is sitting rather strongly at the 27th degree of Taurus. It's not yet into Gemini. It's returning. It's been retrograde. But it still is close enough by degree to form a trine. And this powerful trine is going to be activated to another degree by the fact that on the 9th of January of 2026, the moon will move into the sign of Libra. And on the 9th, it will be at 3 degrees of Libra, creating another grand air trine. There was one last fall. This is a different one, but it's another amplification. It's another movement upward. It's all energy. It's happening in you. It's happening around you. It's happening for you. And messages are being beamed to the planet that will assist in humanity finding their balance, having the courage to take the steps that are necessary to move forward, to clarify, purify, to aid in the transcendency, ascension, rise up over. And it is that all of this is for your evolution. How loved are you? In the outer world, there will continue to be seismic activity. 2025 was the 6th most active year of seismic activity on record. And 2026 may calm down some, but there will still be earthquakes and floods and fires as the planets are moving from a predominance of earth and water in the outer planets to a new state of fire and air. Pluto, Uranus, and they will be in the air signs where Saturn and Neptune, and soon, next summer, the planet Jupiter will all be in fire signs. So the outer planets will be assisting higher consciousness of fire and air, cleansing, purifying. And yes, on the earth, it will look like floods, like storms, high winds. High winds. Pay attention when the wind blows, what it's saying. And the logical mind says, you have got to be kidding. No. This is a wonderful part of your practice. That as you listen within, don't try to figure it out from your mind. Don't even necessarily go by, well, it doesn't feel comfortable. High wind doesn't feel particularly comfortable. But when you go into what the messages are that the wind is bringing, you may get some comfort, some sustainability within yourself from the messages that the old ones bring on the wind. It's written in the wind. Listen to the wind, the singing of the wind in the trees, the singing of new information that is moving to you, touching you, influencing you. And so, dearly beloved masters, you may feel very strange, but it is that you are moving away from being a very earthy, carbon-based being to potentially lighter than air and in touch consciously with the spark of life within you. Saturn and Neptune are sitting closer and closer to that point of 2 degrees before the 0 to 2 degrees after in any sign, the Earth axis. And Neptune will already have moved into the sign of Aries again by the new moon. Saturn will take just a bit longer. And Uranus will move into the sign of Gemini again right before the spring equinox. All of the big outer planets will be moving forward, and they will all be transitioned into their new signs. This, beloved masters, brings a powerful difference, a recognizable difference that for some people will make them want to fight harder. They will be so afraid of what? Well, look out there. Look in here. And within, you find your world, your worlds are expanding. You begin to realize that within you, you're feeling bigger. Pay attention to yourself. It doesn't mean hover and criticize every little odd thing. It means get to know who you are in love. Be there with you. Not because it's so terrible, but because you haven't really allowed that kind of love in lifetimes. So, coming home to you, awakening to the fact that within you are connections to other worlds, whole new places. Things are different. So, masters, this is such a powerful time of change. And you wouldn't have missed it for the world. You agreed to be here. There are some people that are looking at what they agreed to and saying, I must have made a mistake. And there's many people that are leaving the planet one way or another for whatever their own inner choices, inner determinations might be. It is only about you if you let it be about you, because this is where you consider the choices that you will be making, especially over the next 3 years. Those choices, in many ways, will determine the path you walk over the next, who knows when the next turning will be. It's been 50,000 years since the last one. So making the choices in love, making the choices within yourself, making the choices to let go of everything and see where spirit leads you. Let go. Just the idea of letting go of everything absolutely paralyzes the ego mind. It's in a panic. Oh my God, your adrenaline is running. Your fight or flight syndrome is coming to the surface. And that's where you meet it and say, come, let's go inside and find the quiet places. Because what you're fearing is out there. Now, this doesn't mean you have to leave the planet. This doesn't mean you have to die. And it doesn't mean you have to go find a hole to hide in. It means that as you connect honestly, truly, powerfully, with faith, with patience, with discipline, loving yourself so well that you won't leave you. And control wants you not only to continue to be out of touch, but to leave yourself altogether. So when we say let go, we are asking for a focus on your divine self, which isn't separate from anything else. It includes every bit of you, your conscious mind, your body, all of your systems in the physical, your emotional makeup, all of it. Just let it go. Are you breathing? Learn a breath pattern that serves you, that establishes your breathing, your breath. Count to 4, hold 4, breathe out 6. And as you do that, you will breathe approximately 6 times a minute. 4 breath in, hold, and blow out to the count of 6, allowing yourself to cleanse, to release, to clear, so that there is room. So the next breath goes deeper and brings you more new things. And this is not a time to war with your logical mind about what's going on out there? Well, how can you breathe deep when the air is polluted? You call spirit to be with you, to assist in the energy of transformation so that as you breathe it in, love filters it. As you breathe out, you clear. The same thing with the water you drink. Yes, if you can be very careful about the water you drink, then do so. Because a lot of the water is contaminated with energy from the wars. And that is going to intensify to a certain degree. And then it's almost as though, as it reaches a point where everyone is saying, how can this possibly go on? It will stop. But that doesn't mean you do. That means that you, in the quiet, spend more time, more love, more attention. It doesn't mean you stop having a life, but it does mean that you make time for yourself in the morning, make time for yourself in the evening. It's almost as though if you're willing, your spirit will say, take a break right now. Just give yourself a minute or two to quiet, to center, to be in touch. And you will know, and then you will know, now I can go back to what I'm doing. Because the more you are in touch with you, the more you pay attention, the more you will absolutely experience more, more detail, more color, more reality, more life that is yours than you have in a long time. In fact, you may be absolutely amazed at who you are. It may astound you that you are that big, that wise, that clear, that strong. You don't get a test for your strength a lot of times until there's a test. Certainly logic doesn't really want to pay much attention to things until there's a crisis. And then it says, all right, where's all this stuff that I learned? But did you learn it? And if you learned it, have you used it? Because reading a book, taking a class, going to a seminar is a momentary influx of information. But if you don't utilize it, if you don't attend to it, you say, I attended a seminar, but were you there? Or did you just go to say you attended a seminar? Were you interested? Did you know what they were talking about? If you didn't know what they were talking about, did you find out? Did you get involved? Did you really pay attention? You have moved a long way. from being with yourself. And you require your loving presence, your attention, your awareness, your integrity, your honor. You require to really get to know you in a way that you really haven't even particularly wanted to in a long time. You're born, you live, you die. No, that's not really what the divine plan was. Yes, you're born, and there would be some question, even in your own mind, about whether you live or whether you survive, whether you struggle, whether you just endure until you can get out of it. And as things move forward and you find life is bigger and better, you also may find that the illusion of death will change. The illusion of death that says this is the only life you have, and when you lay down this carbon-based vehicle, that's it. There'll never be anything else. Dearly beloved masters, no one knows when all of this began. But the truth of it is that who you are is eternal. So if you lay down this carbon-based vehicle, you're going to move into a light form. And where the next phase of human evolution is moving now is to move into a much lighter, illuminated, translucent, crystalline form, bringing a whole new level of awareness to what transparency means. It means that the energy that you have tucked away inside of this dense physical carbon-based body would show up in a crystalline form, which would call all who are there to be honest, to be in integrity, to be faithful to themselves, to the divine, to the others, that you would, and I keep talking about this because this is an important point to consider right now, to really consider that as you are moving into all of this newness, that you require to really live interconnected with you. And as you progress, evolve, you're going to find that you are actually able to feel your connection to the divine, to feel the goddess, to feel her emerging, her kindness, her compassion, her tenderness, her mothering. And yes, we will observe, and yes, if you are not being faithful to yourself, there will be a sense of the energy within you to remind you to really be with yourself. Enjoy the time of being equal again. You haven't gotten to enjoy it in a long time. So, dearly beloved masters, these huge planetary shifts, these amazing changes are really already lifting you up. But in the outer world, people just don't pay much attention to what's going on. Things are happening all the time that actually are energetically impacting them, but they don't look and they don't listen. They just go about out of touch, unplugged. So, dearly beloved masters, being with yourself is going to become more and more important. And not just during this time of transformation, and then I'll go back to what I was doing. There won't be any back to go to. And so to understand that the changes that you are imaging, the changes that you are wishing for, the changes that you are calling may wind up being things you will live with for a long time. So be wise in your changes. There are those that are leaving the planet because they believe if they just die, then they can wait out this time and come back. And it doesn't necessarily work like you think it would from a logical perspective, because your input, your own evolutionary process, is what is determining where you will go, how fast you will go, when you will go. And it isn't about speed. There's no rush to a finish line because there's no finish line. There's no there. There's always more. There's always more. And the logical mind says, when do we get to rest? And we say, when you will allow yourself to rest, you can rest. People can't sleep. Their anxiety levels are off the map. I'm walking like a zombie because I haven't slept in days. Was there outside noise? No, not really. I just couldn't turn my mind off. And that is where faith, transparency, patience, and discipline all come into play, because you build your thoughts just like you build a muscle. So every day you practice focusing on positives. And every day you practice on calling your mind back. And calling your mind back. I must have called my mind back 100 times. Yes. And it's like a child that wants to go play in the freeway. And you know that the child can't play safely in the freeway. So you have to keep an eye on them and keep bringing them back in out of the road. And your logical mind is the same way. You require to keep bringing it back to center, bringing it back to focus on positive things, bringing it back to quiet and stillness. Because a lot of humanity is just so hyper that they can't be still. And they've been told, here, take a drug for it. And the drugs that were supposed to calm them down and make them more aligned have made them more hyper. Have a drink. It calms your nerves. No, it doesn't. Because it's almost pure sugar. And as it integrates into the systems of the body, it turns to sugar. And the sugar aggravates your kidneys, your liver, your nervous system. So getting energetically wise about the ways to calm yourself, which require your attention, your focus, your commitment to your sacred self to be, yes, the best that you can be. Today, be the best you'll allow. Tomorrow, be the best you'll allow. Make your commitment to yourself that each day I will keep my commitment. Not that I will meet a quota and I'll be better at the end of the day, but that I will keep my commitment to myself in love. There will be days when you won't see any effort that has paid off from a logical perspective. But there will be days when, oh my God, I've really changed. I can feel it, I can see it, I can even hear it. I'm different. Celebrate it, enjoy it, but don't go back and have a rich dessert, 5 cups of coffee, or drink all night. Because the commitment is to keep moving forward and leaving the old habitual addictions out there. Because the more you connect within, the more you will find other worlds to explore. People, people, beings that are not a bit like you, and yet they're interesting, they're unique, they have some really amazing ideas. They may be very suspicious of you because those in worlds that are connected to the earth have hidden behind veils to keep humanity out because humanity is considered to be quite violent. And so the Fae have already agreed to drop their veils. So you may not be able to go stomping through the sacred places without encountering beings that you never saw anything like them before. And to experience that in such a way that you can delight in the differences. So that is an excellent primary focus for these times. I'm focusing on learning to delight in differences because in the earth plane you've been taught to hate them. You've been taught to fear them. You've been taught to shy away from them. If people are different, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Well, you're different. And you want people to like you, love you, be with you. So as you focus on delighting in the differences, then you may find that you're meeting more amazing, wonderful people that feel so good and so compatible. Where have they been? Behind your veils. Because now the veils of humanity are dropping. The veils around Earth have dropped. The veils of individuals are tattering. They're blowing away in the wind of change. And so, dearly beloved masters, we'll move again once more to the 9th of January, where the moon is in a place where it's going to activate this grand trine. And Jupiter will be in a place where it's going to be in alignment to activate a lot of upliftment, expansion. If you're willing to take the time to pay attention to the energy flows, you can feel them. You can consider the astrological aspects. Well, all of that's hard and it takes time, and I've got so much to do. And you want to heal, and you want to be yourself, and you want to know. And you are the only one that can make sure that you achieve what you desire. But it isn't with a battle against the outer world. It isn't a fight. With what humanity is doing, it is about you feeling more optimistic, more enthusiastic, more anxious. No, no, no anxiety. More joyfully in anticipation of how things are changing. And being connected enough with yourself that you're actually aware of those changes. So feeling them, feeling them. It is that Mercury in the sign of Capricorn will be in a sextile to the North Node. And sextiles bring opportunities for change. And the North Node in Pisces is about letting go of self-pity, of letting go of victimization. And so you might say, your next lesson might be considering how many ways with your thoughts, with your actions, with your excuses, are you holding on to pity and victimization? Do you whine? I'm not a whiner. I don't whine. Have you listened to yourself? Have some cheese with the wine? And so, beloved masters, get clear with you. It requires that you be absolutely honest, not brutally honest. The world game has played brutal honesty. I'm going to tell you the truth, and then that person who's going to tell you the truth, my truth is that you are blah, 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 blah. But that's not truth. That's an opinion wrapped up in a sheepskin. That's not kind. And it will get to where it isn't even unconscious. People will begin to realize what other people are doing and saying instead of making excuses or looking the other way. Avoid a confrontation. There's enough war on the world, but avoidance doesn't really escape because you still have to deal with the fact that everywhere you go, there you are. So learning to live peacefully, lovingly, kindly with yourself, to stand before the mirror and say, as you look into your own eyes, not up at the ceiling, down at the floor, off to the side, but into your own eyes and hold the gaze. I love you. I love you. And it isn't, oh, I love you, but feel the love, feel the exchange between you and that image in the mirror. I love you. And you feel it in your heart. And it just feels, oh, I've been looking for that. And I better hold it very tight because I don't want to lose it. You can't hold it because it's a flow. And when you stand in that flow, then it fills you, it flows, and then it flows on. And it takes your love to others. And it brings the love of others to you energetically. And logic may say, well, all of that's just entirely too technical for me. And yet, logic is really caught up in AI, and logic is really caught up in robots taking over, and logic is really involved in finding ways to control everything, but it's too technical to feel love. Pay attention to what you have been living and get honest with yourself. Is this what you want to keep living in the new order? Do you want to keep holding on to the past? Do you want to keep on disliking or even more intensely hating people that you don't even know, but you energetically get involved in an energy that is so toxic to you because the people that you hate won't even know it most of the time. But you're living with that toxicity in your body, in your mind. It's physical, it's emotional. And this is a time to clean your house. And the energy of the planets is bringing you all manner of purification, of clarity, of love, lots of love. And people may say, well, where is it? I want it. It's in you. Forgive looking outside for the answers, for the energy, for the things you desire when it's all inside of you. It's not that it belongs to someone else. It's there for you. And then you can share it and you can receive it if you're willing to have daily practice. Practice living, loving. It's like building a muscle. The first few days that you begin to practice living, loving, your muscles will feel weak and tired. You may feel like your brain is exhausted. And logic says, you don't need to keep doing this. Just quit. And you are at a point of choice. Will I just let it go? Or will I keep hanging on to the old ways? Will I discipline myself to keep moving forward? Or will I keep stopping and allowing myself to be diverted into other directions? Personal choice. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters. The planets are bringing messages. There are beings coming from other places in love to support the earth in this transformation. They're interested. They may be also intrigued and possibly curious, but they're interested. They really do come in love to support you in letting go of the grip that the outer world has on you energetically, and keep moving forward. And so, beloved masters, these are amazing times. They are astounding times. They're wild and crazy times. And you're here to exercise your choice muscles and get closer and closer, more integrated with yourself. And so, beloved masters, in the greatest of love, we are all with you. We are here, whether you see us or not. We are in full form to assist humanity in this time of transcendency. And so, dearly beloved Master, we will open the circle. And we thank the northern places and all of the energy of enlightenment and awareness. And we thank the western places for clarity and cleansing and soothing. And we thank the places of the south. This is the year, the Chinese year, of the horse. And this particular year, it is a fire horse. So it is going to carry dragon energy. And the south is the fire, the places of the dragon. And we thank the air, new ideas, the winds that blow the old away. And it is time to open for cleansing. And so, beloved masters, the circle is open for all who would leave if they desire to go out into their day, into their night. We welcome you to be here, and we go with you as you leave. And know that the door is open. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. And for all that would stay in this time coming to just be together, then we welcome you to that. And so, beloved masters, in love, I declare that this ritual is complete.